Welcome, everyone. This is our Monday meditation, the Joy of Sitting Hour. And it's always good to see you here. Tonight, for those of you that may be here for the first time, this meeting has been ongoing for the past 4 years now since COVID. And our focus in this meeting is meditation and mindfulness practice. This is a 1 hour meeting that runs between 6 and 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time every Monday night. And tomorrow night, we also have another meeting called Art of Connection Community. And this meeting goes also between 6 and 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. For those of you that are interested in knowing perhaps a little bit more about me and this work and other courses that I offer, please come to my website, Art of Connection Now. Art of Connection Now is one word.com. And you'll see an invitation to enroll in an amazing course called The Daily Practice of Loving Kindness. This is a self-paced, self-study program that gives you an incredible foundation for living. And you'll see all of the meditations, the contemplations, all of the practices to help you to find greater and greater happiness on all the levels that are important to you. For tonight, we have our program I have our program here. And also there's always room for your questions and concerns. And I will make time to include them. One thing that we don't do here in this meeting is this program, as I said, is here for you to focus on meditation and mindfulness practice. For those of you that may like other social media platform, it's also available at Clubhouse is another social media platform. And also if you come to my website, artofconnectionnow.com, you'll see under Monday Meditation an opportunity to enter this meeting, Monday Meditation, the Joy of Sitting. Tonight, the program that I have for us begins by looking at a body-centered mindfulness practice. This is an incredible practice that goes back to the time of the Buddha, and the Buddha taught it to his students, and it has been passed on for all these years, for over 2,500 years now. And it's an incredible practice because you can do it anywhere. You can do it if you're driving in your car, you can do it eyes open. Of course, you don't want to be driving your car with your eyes closed, but it's something that can really enrich your life, especially if you're dealing with issues of stress for all the different reasons that are appropriate for you. And so this practice, it also helps to give you something to focus on other than your stress, but also helps to release stress in your body, in your mind, wherever it may be. Following that, we will do a sitting practice and all of the meditations in order to encompass everything in this 1 hour meeting. The meditations that we do are relatively short, about 6 to 7 minutes, but it gives you the opportunity to have, even though relatively brief, an experience of meditation that is incredible for changing your view of the moment, for bringing you to a greater place of inner peace and happiness. And as I said, it's always wonderful to have you here. So following our opening meditation, which involves focusing on the space that your thoughts and emotions arise within, which really is inspired by one of the ancient meditations from one of the most popular Zen traditions in Japan called Soto Zen. And this meditation, the Japanese name for it is shikantaza. So we'll do our spaciousness meditation, our shikantaza meditation, and then following that, we'll talk some about the awakening of the heart and what that embraces, which has to do with all of your feelings, whether you like them or not, whether they're pleasant or not, but we'll go into greater depth about that after our opening meditation. And then following that, we will do our middle meditation, which involves employing this body-centered mindfulness practice to release stress. And right on the heels of that, while we're right at the tail end of that particular practice, we go right into a heart-centering meditation, which has such an incredible gift for each of you. And after our middle meditation of the evening, we'll talk some about processing unpleasant emotions and the benefit of that. And this isn't to cause depression. It gives you an opportunity to alleviate depression by processing your emotions. One of my favorite sayings is, if you can't let it go, work it through. So this particular method, not right in the talk, of course, but where we're going from that talk on processing unpleasant emotions is directly into the experience of processing unpleasant emotions. So we'll go into greater depth as we get to that part of the evening. That's our closing meditation of the evening. And then we'll close our meeting as we do every Monday night and every Tuesday night with a prayer that's inspired through the Native American church called the Beauty Way Prayer. And so before we really jump into everything, I just want to wave back to each of you that are here. Joy Ruth 2010, thank you for being here. Healing underscore hypnosis underscore UK, thank you for being here. Jana Waldinger, great to see you here. And Poutine to Prophet, thank you for being here. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into this. And if, as I said, if you have any comments or concerns, please write a comment, and I would be very happy to include that in our meeting this evening. So the body-centered mindfulness practice is one of the ancient practices that goes back to the time of the Buddha. What it involves really paying attention, bringing the center of the focus of your attention to what's happening inside of you. And you know, sometimes you grab thoughts, you grab emotions. We all do sometimes, don't we? And so this particular method, by gripping, stress, tension, pain, and discomfort, we have a way of engaging with it and then releasing it. And it's, as I said, it's an incredible practice to include, and it is a part of the daily practice of loving kindness. So we're going to do some of that in just a moment in our as the early part of our middle meditation, and we'll jump into that. Our opening meditation, though, has to do with noticing the space that your thoughts and emotions arise within. Now, most of us throughout our day, we have thoughts about things yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Some of the thoughts become fantasies, and we don't think about the space that the thoughts arise within. And sometimes we feel that we're so inundated with thoughts and emotions that we have no space. So this is a way of regaining the space that you might like or prefer, and actually seeing what happens as you experience more of that space, to investigate it. And so part of meditation practice involves investigating consciousness and awareness. And in the space that your thoughts and emotions arise within, what could happen? Good things can happen. Happiness can happen. Joy, inner peace. So let's experience this and see where it carries us. Now, with regard to any meditation, there are certain practices that are always helpful, like in the beginning when you first sit down, just readjusting your posture so that your spine, you're not lilted over to one way or another. And this isn't about being anal or rigid. It's just really being mindful of what happens in your body when your spine is relatively aligned. And then a good breathing practice with meditation. And this isn't for hyperventilating, but it's a type of deep breathing. So, and you'll see as we go into this, experiencing the way that your shoulders, chest, and belly wall expand on your inhalations and release on your exhalations. And as you do that, it may feel that you're breathing all the way down to your navel or just a little below your navel. So let's go ahead and do this, and very gently allowing your eyelids to drift downward until they do close. And bringing the very center of the focus of your attention to the experience of breathing, becoming aware of the way shoulders, chest, and belly wall expand on your inhalations and release on your exhalations. Just normal breathing, normal rhythmic movement of your breath, experiencing the expansion of your shoulders, chest, and belly wall on your inhalations, and the release on the exhalations. And also noticing, along with the natural rhythmic movement of your breath, the way that your awareness recognizes the warmth and the coolness of your breath. And the way that your awareness also recognizes the moist and the dryness of your breath. And also the awareness of the beating of your heart and your pulse that travels throughout your whole being. Recognizing how amazing your awareness is, that it can encompass, experience all of these various aspects of your life experience that's right in here, in this here and now moment. And along with being aware of the way that your body movement accommodates your breath and breathing with all of these facets, these attributes of your breath, warmth and coolness, moist and dryness, the beating of your heart and your pulse. And also beginning to notice the space that your thoughts and emotions arise within. Noticing the way some thoughts come and go, some thoughts come and stay, and as certain thoughts linger, they may become fantasies. And notice the space that these thoughts, these images, great or small, notice the space that they linger in, the space that they arise in, the space that they linger in, awareness to them. Noticing the way that your body movement accommodates your breath and breathing, the beating of your heart and your pulse, the space that your thoughts and emotions arise within, and also this sense of calm, this calm that's inside this space. Your calm that's right here within the space that your thoughts and emotions arise within. Noticing the way that your breath, expanding of your shoulders, chest, and belly wall, the way that your body movement accommodates your breath and breathing, the beating of your heart and your pulse, and the space that your thoughts and emotions arise within. And this sense of calm that's right here within this space. And beginning to soften into this calm while being aware of the way that your body movement accommodates your breath and breathing, the beating of your heart and your pulse, the space that your thoughts and emotions arise within, and this amazing calm that's always right here. And softening that much more deeply into your calm. Perhaps noticing that from this place of calm, the ease that that gives you to be aware of the way that your body movement accommodates your breath and breathing, the beating of your heart and your pulse, and this incredible space that your thoughts and emotions arise within, and this sense of calm that's right here, and softening that much more deeply into your calm, and taking just another moment within this calm to unhook and float and drift within your calm, allowing thoughts to come and go or come and stay, while experiencing this calm within this space that your thoughts come and go within. And softening your belly wall and your shoulders as you linger in your calm. And taking another slow and gentle deep breath in, and gently releasing this breath and allowing your breath to find its own natural rhythm once again, free of control. Slowly moving your fingers and your toes, gently stretching your hands and your feet, slowly moving your wrists and your ankles, gently shrugging your shoulders and stretching your back and your neck and your arms and your legs. And when you're ready, slowly let your eyes come back open and notice if the room and space around you seems a little different than before, and if you feel different than you did. If there is a difference and you're enjoying this difference, please soften into it and recognize that this is a gift that you've given to yourself. So let's talk a little now about the awakening of the heart, what that means, and what it's really about, how you get there. What does that mean? So, the awakening of the heart, in part, is where we stop resisting the experience of all of our emotions. It's that recognition that we were each given this incredible gift at birth of all of our emotions, whether they're pleasant or unpleasant, that it's a package deal. And part of the awakening of the heart is the reception, receiving this incredible gift of all of our emotions. And another part of the awakening of the heart is this sense of spaciousness that comes with this. As we receive this package of all of our emotions, our heart opens with gratitude and with an incredible sense of spaciousness, having space for this human experience, having space for yourself, having space for life to show up just like this. You don't have to like it, but can you just embrace it? And with a recognition that maybe all of this was purposeful, that in order for life to happen, it had to have all these parts. And it wasn't all about what feels good, it's about feeling everything, all of it. So as we receive the gift, this incredible gift of all of our emotions, our heart opens with loving kindness for ourselves and others, and this incredible sense of spaciousness. So if any of you have any comments or concerns about all of this, please write something in the comment area, and I would be very happy to include those in tonight's meeting. So now we're about to do our middle meditation of the evening. And this middle meditation, we come back to the conversation our meeting with this evening in terms of a body-centered mindfulness practice. So you know that you feel everything. We have these bodies, these minds, this everything, and we feel. And sometimes we grip a thought or we grip a feeling because maybe we don't like it, or maybe we like it too much, whatever it is. Sometimes we grip our thoughts, sometimes we grip our emotions. And many of these patterns with certain types of thoughts, certain types of emotions can be habitual. And sometimes they take us to good places, and sometimes it's to not so good places. As you recognize the pattern, it can free you. And so part of the value of the daily practice of loving kindness is that we begin to study the way all of this works, the way we feel what we feel, the way we think about what we feel, the way we process all of it. We start to unravel it all, and then little by little, it creates an incredible foundation for living life so that you can achieve your dreams, your goals, your hopes of a very fulfilling life on all of the different levels. So let's do some of this meditation and not just talk about it. So once again, just taking a moment to reposition your body on the surface that your body's resting, and very gently allowing your eyelids to drift downward until they do close. And taking a slow and gentle deep breath in, and gently releasing this breath and allowing your breath to find its own natural rhythm once again, free of control. Beginning to scan, to feel on the inside of your being, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, looking for the locations and content where your stress, tension, pain, and discomfort reside, whether they're physical, mental, emotional, and or spiritual, or any combinations thereof, no matter how large or how small. And sometimes we do grab our thoughts, we do grab our emotions, and giving these locations and content a very warm, caring, loving, nurturing, tender, connecting embrace, allowing your love to work through you and for you by giving these locations and content of your stress and all of that an embrace. and tightening your embrace just a little bit more in order to give these locations and content a very full-hearted, open-hearted, caring, tender, nurturing, loving, inclusive, and connecting embrace. No matter what emotions are inside, no matter what thoughts, no matter what causes, allowing your love to work for you and softening and releasing, gently bringing the very center of the focus of your attention to this feeling of release and allowing this feeling of release to flow throughout your entire being. And allowing all of your senses to register this experience of release. And softening into this experience of release. And scanning once again from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, looking for the locations and content where your stress, tension, pain, and discomforts reside, whether they're physical, mental, emotional, and or spiritual, or any combinations thereof, no matter how large or small, whether they're caused by anxieties, worries, unfulfilled dreams and hopes, whether it's personal issues, political issues, financial issues, whatever it is. And this time, giving these locations and content the gentlest embrace. Warm, tender, nurturing, caring, loving, inclusive, and connecting embrace. And softening your embrace and releasing. Gently bringing the very center of the focus of your attention to this feeling of release. And allowing this feeling of release to flow throughout your entire being. And allowing all of your senses to register this experience of release. And softening into this experience of release. And scanning once again from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, looking for the locations and content where your stress, tension, pain, and discomforts reside, whether they're physical, mental, emotional, and or spiritual, or any combinations thereof, no matter how large or how small. And this time, bringing the gentlest of touches, barely touching the fringes of these locations with a warm, tender, nurturing, caring, loving, inclusive, and connecting contact. Barely touching, whisper soft, barely touching the fringes of these locations and content. and softening and releasing. Gently bringing the very center of the focus of your attention to this feeling of release, and softening into this experience of release and allowing it to flow throughout your entire being. And allowing all of your senses to register this experience of release. And softening into this experience of release. And bringing the very center of the focus of your attention to the dull ache in your heart, the doorway in. And you know this dull ache from many losses that you've experienced throughout this lifetime. And even though they may have happened a long while ago, this dull ache is always here. The doorway into your heart is always here. And leaning back into your dull ache, leaning back into your heart, leaning back into the doorway into your heart, and leaning back more and more and more until you somewhat plop inside your own heart. And allowing all of your senses to register the experience of being on the inside of your heart. It might seem quieter or more peaceful on the inside of your heart. It might hurt less to be on the inside of your heart than it did when you were on the outside. And noticing the place within your heart that your love always arises from. Whether your love is for a person, a place, a thing, a two-legged, a four-legged, a no-legged, whether your love is for someone on this plane of existence or any other, your love always arises from this place. And allowing your love to flow through you and around you. And allowing all of your senses to register this pure love that lives within you. And softening into your pure love and allowing it to saturate your being. Perhaps noticing some of the essences of love that live within your love, like caring and kindness, and also this incredible vibration of connection that dwells within your love. And you know what it's like to connect with a person, a place, a thing, and also to want to connect when it isn't available. And the appetite, the hunger, that want, need, and desire for a meaningful sense of connection. And allowing your vibration of connection to flow through you and around you. And allowing all of your senses to register this pure connection that lives within you. and softening into your pure connection and allowing it to saturate your being. And taking just another moment to unhook and float and drift within this incredible experience of pure connection. And perhaps feeling a sense of fulfillment in knowing that your pure connection is always here. And taking another slow and gentle deep breath in and gently releasing this breath and allowing your breath to find its own natural rhythm once again, free of control. Slowly beginning to move your fingers and your toes, gently stretching your hands and your feet, slowly moving your wrists and your ankles, gently shrugging your shoulders and stretching your back and your neck and your arms and your legs. And when you're ready, slowly let your eyes come back open and notice if the room and space around you seems a little different than before, and if you feel a little different than you did. If there is a difference and you're enjoying this difference, please soften into it and recognize that this is a gift that you've given to yourself. So, this meeting, these Monday night meetings, are here every Monday night at the same time from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, although it isn't always Daylight Savings Time. And you can tell by the flavor of this meeting that I have a passion for cross cultural spirituality. And the reason for that is that there are so many gifts, so many teachings, wondrous teachings, and not just about knowledge, but about experience, experiences that free our minds, our heart, in all of the great traditions. Tonight, we started off with a talk about the Buddha, body centered mindfulness practice. And it's incredible that these teachings became available to the whole world. So, there are different branches of Buddhism. The middle way teachings are certainly at the core of it. And the middle way is what the Buddha taught, which isn't, it's a path between the extremes of worldly pleasures on one end and austerity on the other, and finding a way to find freedom from needless suffering. Of course, there's always suffering in terms of the losses that we experience. It's inevitable to have certain losses in our life. And yet, it's needless suffering when something is provoked or um, retaliation. It causes a sense of polarization. And our ego is really based on this idea of being separate. So, at the core of these teachings, in all of the great traditions, we take a look at understanding what's real. What does reality mean? And so, as we've gone through the evening with the body centered mindfulness practice, looking at the space our thoughts and emotions arise within, we came to this next part, which is about the awakening of the heart. and spaciousness, having space in your mind and heart for yourself, for others. And I'm blown away, really, at some of the simplicity of it. Like, for example, let's say we're at the supermarket and someone is kind enough, they recognize someone at the back of the line only has two items, and maybe they have a shopping cart full, and they say, why don't you go in front? You only have two items. Why should you have to wait for me? I have all of this. Basic kindness. I think overall, the world is filled with really wonderful people. And part of this is learning how to regulate your thoughts, that you're not a victim of your mind, and also to understand how your nervous system works. Meditation and the deeper experiences of meditation, they help us to see that when we grip around unpleasant emotions, the person that we harm the most is ourselves. And so, in just a couple of moments, we're going to do this practice, this one of the ancient practices that's known to go back to Tibet about 1,000 years ago, when these teachings were brought to Tibet by a Buddhist monk named Atisha, who was Nepalese. And I don't know if you've been to Nepal this lifetime or not. Incredible places. I haven't yet been to Nepal, but I have been to India and met the Dalai Lama in it. Amazing people to preserve teachings for humanity and the practices of loving kindness that out of their challenges that they brought these teachings to the world for all of us. What a gift. And so when we don't process our emotions, they fester. And the person that they harm most is you. And they cause depression, which of course can lead into what's called an aggravated depression. And it's not pretty. It's not pretty to live through. And at the same time, there's a way that we don't have to live with it, that we can process it. And so when we process it, what we find is that we feel better about ourselves, about others. So let's do a little bit of that. So this starts off by recognizing, taking a moment, be honest with yourself. And being honest with yourself is really the most important thing. More than being honest with anyone else, can you be honest with yourself and tell yourself the truth? So let's start with, what was the most unpleasant emotion of today or past few days? What was like the worst one so far? And I'm not talking about just the weather conditions where it may be blistering hot, but what was the most unpleasant emotion of your day? And the reason we go there, the reason we pick that, is that that way you know that you're not making it up. And as we do practices of meditation and all of that, it helps to bring calm to your nervous system, helps you to feel comfortable in your own body, in your life, this precious human birth. And so also we pick the worst one so that if something really does happen and you feel better, that you know you didn't make that up. So once again, please reposition your body on the surface that your body is resting, and very gently allow your eyelids to drift downward until they do close. On the next inhalation, breathing in your unpleasant emotion into every pore and cell of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for yourself. Breathing out love, kindness, compassion, caring, and connection through every cell and pore of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for yourself. Breathing in your most unpleasant emotion into every pore and cell of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for yourself. Breathing out love, kindness, compassion, caring, and connection through every cell and pore of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for yourself. Breathing in your most unpleasant emotion into every pore and cell of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for yourself. Breathing out love, kindness, compassion, caring, and connection through every cell and pore of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for yourself. Continuing to breathe, leaving your eyelids closed, and considering if we had some magical device capable of measuring all of the qualities and distinctions of human emotion, of everyone on this plane of existence in this moment, no matter what their stage of life, no matter anything, nationality, all of it, no matter. Even though their circumstances may be very different than yours, how many human beings would have feelings so close to your feeling as to be indistinguishable? One other person, maybe 10 other people, perhaps hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe millions of people feeling just like you do. And on the next inhalation, breathing in your most unpleasant emotion into every pore and cell of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for all of them and yourself. Breathing out love, kindness, compassion, caring, and connection through every cell and pore of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for all of them and yourself. Breathing in your most unpleasant emotion into every pore and cell of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for all of them in yourself. Breathing out love, kindness, compassion, caring, and connection through every cell and pore of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for all of them and yourself. Breathing in your most unpleasant emotion into every pore and cell of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for all of them and yourself. Breathing out love, kindness, compassion, caring, and connection through every cell and pore of your being as a gift of generosity and spaciousness for all of them and yourself. Continuing to breathe, leaving your eyelids closed, and evaluating. Do you feel any more compassion for yourself and your human experience? Do you feel any more compassion for others that feel like you do? Do you feel any more compassion for others and their human experience? When you're ready, slowly and gently allow your eyelids to come back open and notice if the room and space around you seems a little different than before, and if you feel a little different than you did. If you do sense a difference and you're enjoying this difference or curious about it, please soften into it and recognize that this is a gift that you've given to yourself. And just waving back to empaths' struggles and Nina Ferrer interiors. And Jana writes, so learn to regulate one's nervous system and use this practice to feel deeply connected to oneself. Beautiful. Waving back to Emily Richmond 10 and blissful.vibes. Thank you all for being here tonight. So let's take a look at what we did tonight. We started off with a talk about the body-centered mindfulness practice. And then we did our shikantaza or spaciousness meditation. And following that, we took a look at the awakening of the heart and this amazing capacity that our heart has of having space and generosity for yourself and others. After that, we did our body centered mindfulness practice and our heart centering emotion, heart centering meditation. And our heart centering meditation, part of the beauty of that meditation, this meditation, was to experience this sense of connection, this vibration, this hunger to connect, and this experience of pure connection that lives within us. Afterward, we talked about processing our unpleasant emotions and the value of that so that we're not stuck in our emotions, but we actually bring motion to this energy, and we put it into motion, this emotion. So, with the body centered mindfulness practice and also with this practice of processing unpleasant emotions, we brought some movement. And what we just finished was, in the ancient ways, is called Tong Lin, but we call it processing unpleasant emotion meditation. And that's what, and one of the results of that is feeling compassion for yourself and your human experience, and likewise to have compassion perhaps for others that have similar feelings just like you do. So at this point in the evening, we're getting ready to bring some closure to the evening. And I really just take a moment here to thank each of you for being here tonight. And for those of you that may be watching this subsequently, thank you for being here. Just as a reminder, Monday through Friday, we have a very brief meditation and relaxation experience at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, and it runs about 15 minutes. It's a short little meditation and relaxation. On Monday and Tuesday evenings, Monday night to night, we have our Monday meditation, the Joy of Sitting hour from 6 to 7 p.m. And then on Tuesday night, we have our Art of Connection community meeting, which is open. It's an open community. We practice contemplation and meditation. And of course, I invited you to come check out my website and also the daily practice of loving kindness. If you have any questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out. And we're making improvements on the class, on this course. And so if there's more you want to learn about it as we go along, please reach out. I'd love to chat with you. So we're closing tonight with an adaptation of the Beauty Way prayer from the Native American Church. And when we say beauty here, what we're talking about is the awe and wonder of nature. And the reason for that, if we use an example as the Milky Way, is the Milky Way is so amazingly huge that it transcends our understanding. And also its longevity is so amazingly large that, again, it transcends our understanding. But I'm not saying that, and the whole point of this is not to diminish you or me. The whole point of this is that we're a part of this. We're a part of something that transcends our understanding. So when I use the word beauty in this prayer, that's what I'm referring to. And what I'm doing, in case you're wondering what I'm doing while I'm talking here, is I'm changing the virtual background in the Zoom space. So, and also in the Native American Church, we hold each of the directions as sacred. And the reason for that is that if you know the directions wherever you may be in the world, you know the ground that you stand on. And also, as we talk about the directions and this amazing word beauty referring to the Milky Way, see if you can expand your mind, expand your awareness to that direction of the Milky Way, whether it's in front of you or behind you. or any of the directions. So when I say the word beauty in this prayer, it's that beauty that I'm referring to, that of course we are all a part of. Beauty that is in front of us, and beauty that is behind us, and beauty that is to the left of us, and beauty that is to the right of us, and beauty that is underneath us, and beauty that is above us, and beauty that is all around us. And it is essential to remember the beauty that is within us. Dear friends, there's a word that's spoken in the language that the Navajo people speak, and this word is Ojanaslain, which means walk in beauty. Walk in beauty wherever you go, Ojanaslain, 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 and please always remember that you bring the beauty with you wherever you go. Walk in beauty. Namaste, Gasho, many blessings. Walk in beauty.